Welcome everyone! Today we will discuss the dreams of the Straw Hat Pirates from the anime One Piece. We all know how hard it is to achieve our dreams, and now think about the difficulty of that in the world of One Piece. We will be exploring each single dream and why it is so difficult for them to reach fruition. And then finally we will rank them according to difficulty. So stay tuned and let's take a look at the dreams of the Straw Hat Pirates together. Now, in 10th place, you might already know that, I put this guy here. Usopp's dream is only to become a brave warrior of the sea. And we all know that even though I personally don't really like where Usopp has been going, especially in Wano and other things, you could even say that Usopp has already achieved his dream. Maybe even all the way back in Syra Village. I mean, he was quite brave in facing Django and Kuro just to save Kaya and his village. That's the definition of a brave warrior of the sea. So now, what really is the end of that dream? Is it really something that he has to go to Elbaf and the giants need to give him that title? Or when will Usopp really reach the thing and think of himself as a brave warrior of the sea? Because we as the reader or viewer already think he is one. Now the question is only, when will he start to think so? But now let's get to number 9. In my opinion, the 9th hardest dream to achieve in the Straw Hat Pirates is the dream of Brook. Brook's dream is to make it through the Grand Line and get back to Laboon, to tell him all about the journey, play a nice song with him together, and also tell him everything that happened with the crew. Now, you might think, but Pyro, it is really hard to get through the Grand Line. But compared to the other dreams that are still going to come up, Brook's dream is actually quite achievable. Not many people make it through the entirety of the Grand Line with Paradise, New World and the other things, but if anyone can do it, it's the Straw Hat Pirates, and Brook is a part of that crew. These next few are probably going to be controversial, because in 8th place, I have this character. Yes, I put Zoro in 8th place, even though his dream is to become the strongest swordsman in the entire world. And we all know what it takes to achieve that dream. Zoro needs to defeat Mihawk. But now think about all the other Straw Hats I have not yet named. And in my opinion, all these dreams are much harder than just, in quotation marks, just defeating Mihawk. Obviously there is a big challenge, but that just shows how hard all these dreams are. And I think even though Zoro is here in the lower end, every dream upwards is just going to be even more insane, and only Brook's and Usopp's, Usopp's, if I had to rank them on a difficulty scale, Usopp's thing is just like a 1 or a 2, and Brook's is more like a 4 or a 5, and everything else is 7 or above. So all these dreams are going to be bonkers crazy. But now, 7th place. Look at this character. Yes, I put Luffy in 7th place, and his dream is to become the Pirate King. Now, obviously, wow, becoming a Pirate King is one of the hardest things in the existence of the entire world. I mean, not only does Luffy need to find the One Piece in Lothale, where he also needs 4 road poneglyphs, and he also needs to compete with all the other pirates, and there are the 4 strong Yonkos, and then there are also all of the marines and world government agents that want to stop you with that. So yes, this dream is hella difficult, but just compare it to everything else that is going to come up. Luffy's dream is hard. It's basically already a 9 or a 10 out of 10, but with Luffy being the main character, we all know that he is going to achieve that, and in my opinion, he is also going to achieve that before some of the other dreams are going to be fulfilled. When trying to rank these dreams, I decided to do it in a way where I take into account the difficulty, the time it will take to do that, and just all the other factors for that as well. So that's why Luffy is in 7th place. And directly above him is our only non-human, well, debatable non-human, but this is the fishman Jinbei. Jinbei's dream, even though we not necessarily have heard him say it, I think, I would say his dream is to unite all races and bring equality to all of them. Just world peace general, and just think about the entirety of One Piece, all the conflicts we have, and bringing world peace to that. Just that fishmen and human are on the same standing, that already would be difficult, but bringing it to all the races, because if Jinbei just does fishman stuff, it would be a bit weird thinking how he just focuses on his own race and lets everybody else suffer. So I don't think that is what our first Knight of the Sea would do, first Son of the Sea. So Jinbei's dream on 6th place, very hard to achieve, but with enough focus and with enough diplomatic power, he will probably achieve that. And once Luffy becomes the Pirate King, the world is going to change very drastically. So maybe after Luffy achieved his dream, achieving Jinbei's dream will be much easier. And now we come to a dream where I really didn't know where to put it. You could put it much higher on the list or already lower, maybe in the area before Zoro. Who I'm talking about is this character. The Blood Cook of the Straw Hat Pirates. His name is Sanji, you all know him. Actually, his name is Sanji Windsmoke. So his dream is to find the All Blue. Now, finding the All Blue. That's a difficult thing because that area doesn't exist. How do you find something that doesn't exist? At least the One Piece, we know that it exists, so if we have something to go off to become the Pirate King. Zoro has a clear goal of defeating Mihawk, and Brook and Usopp we don't need to speak about. Jinbei's is more of a emotional and personal goal, and Sanji's is just mythical. If we think that the theory of destroying the Red Line and uniting all of the blues together is creating the All Blue, that would still mean that technically Sanji's dream is to destroy the Red Line and create the All Blue, and thus finding it. But destroying the Red Line, who is even powerful enough to do this? I don't even know if Pluton has the power to do that. A Bustercall doesn't have the power to do that, and maybe the 16 beams of light that Imu can control are the only thing that are able to do that. So one day the Red Line will get destroyed, we will have the All Blue, and that is when Sanji's dream gets fulfilled. But doing that is not really in the realm of possibilities for just a character like Sanji. So that's why he's ranked this high. And now the 4th character, that is Franky. Look at him. Our metal boy, our cyborg, and his dream is to build a stream ship, which he already did. That is the Sunny. But he wants to use this ship to sail around the entire world with it. And now, sailing around the entire world doesn't only mean going through the Grand Line once. Technically, going through the entire world would mean you need to go to every island at least once. In the East Blue, South Blue, North Blue, and the West Blue, in every island in Paradise, and every island in the New World, then also every island in the White Sea and in the White Sea, then also every island on the bottom of the sea with the fishermen civilizations. If he wants to travel all around the world, that would even mean that he needs to go with the Mary on top of Marijoa, because he wants to see the entire world, and that is also a part of the world. So the Sunny also never technically passed through the reverse mountain, so that's another thing it also still has to do. You might say that isn't really that hard, but just think about some of the islands. There's Raijin Island, which is very difficult. He needs to take the Sunny to all of the Yonkos Islands. He needs to go to every marine base technically as well. All these things need to be taken care of. And just doing that will be quite dangerous, because not only will Franky encounter all of the Yonkos, which could create problems, Franky will also encounter insanely strong pirates, marines who are government agents, and maybe even neutral people all around the world. And if they so much as want to just kill him for whatever reason, he is in just so much danger, and that is why I ranked his stream so high. Now we're coming to the top 3. You already know which characters are missing, but let's begin with the 3rd character. After Franky, I decided that she would be the first female on the crew that would be in this ranking. It's namely Nami. Nami's dream is to make a map of the entire world. So technically, Nami and Franky would need to travel around the entire world together. While Franky just wants to get to the places with his ship, Nami wants to make maps of all of the different islands. Nami's dream is a bit hard to grasp, because obviously there are already maps of a lot of the islands. But does Nami want to draw the maps herself, or does she just want to chart maps of islands that nobody has ever been to? So that already changes the difficulty of her dream drastically, and also the time it will consume to get through all of the different islands. But if she wants to draw all of the maps herself, that's going to be a task that is going to take tens of years, many decades. And so Nami doesn't want to go to many dangerous islands, but she has to go through them, and she also has to move around them and draw all of these maps. Also in the sky, she would need to make a 3-dimensional map, which is already quite weird in my opinion, to include the islands on the bottom of the sea, but also the islands on the White Sea and the White Sea. So her map would need to have at least 4 layers, which is very interesting, but I don't know how easy it is to achieve that, especially for someone of only Nami's strength. Even if she is really powerful right now, she is still not the strongest character in the universe. So she would have her dangers with encounters as well, just like Frankie. Even if they travel together, if the other Straw Hats don't want to be with them while they complete these dreams, it would be basically a life or death mission every time they enter a somewhat strong island. I think a lot of you will disagree with me on this take, but the second most difficult dream to achieve from the Straw Hat Pirates is the dream of Nico Robin. Nico Robin in second place is a very controversial thing. Her dream is to find out the true history of the world. How does she achieve that? She needs to read all of the normal poneglyphs, she needs to read the road poneglyph, she also needs to talk with old people, she needs to get to the Laugh Tale and find out of stuff, she needs to understand all of the things from the ancient history, the Void Century, the ancient kingdom, and all these other things need to be learned by her. She is technically the only person who can do that. If Robin started out without even the ability to read poneglyphs, this dream would be almost impossible, but she already has that ability, so that's at least a good starting point. And she already has read a few of the poneglyphs, and together with the Straw Hats she will get through her dream, and I think she will also be someone in the crew that is going to achieve her dream before the story ends. First place for me is Chopper. Chopper's dream is to become a doctor that can cure any disease, no matter what. Curing the side effects of the Smile Devil Fruits, maybe even the side effect of not being able to swim from normal Devil Fruits, and all these other diseases, like the incurable disease that Roger had, and Luffy might also contract that disease, because Luffy and Rogers are parallels. So if Chopper heals that, he's already a good doctor, probably the best doctor in the entire world, but just think about curing every single disease in the world. That is impossible. I know Chopper will do it because he's a fantasy doctor in the world of One Piece, but even if he has cures for every single disease that exists at the time he achieved that point, there will always be a time where new diseases can exist, just start from nowhere. We have learned that ourselves in the recent times in the world as well. And that means Chopper's dream, in my opinion, is the only dream that doesn't have an end. You could even also include Frankie and Nami's in that, because if there are some things like volcano outbreaks, that means that there will be new land masses, which means Nami's maps will be inaccurate and she needs to redraw the map again. And if there are new islands, that means Frankie needs to travel around with his ship again to go to these islands. So that's why all these characters are ranked so high. Now, that is, in my opinion, the tier list of how hard the dreams of the Straw Hat Pirates are to achieve. And if you ask me in what order the Straw Hats will achieve their dreams, not how difficult they are, I think this is the order. First, Usopp will achieve his dream to become a brave warrior of the sea. Then Zoro will defeat Mihawk in a battle, probably when we have the Cross-Guild encounter, and he will become the world's strongest swordsman. Then I think Luffy will become the Pirate King. Going on Laugh Tale will also lead to Robin achieving her dream of learning a big part of the history, because Odin said that when they went to Laugh Tale they learned the entire history of the world, which is Robin's dream. After they achieved the dreams of Luffy and Robin, which probably are about the same time, I feel like the Red Line will get destroyed and Sanji will achieve his dream of seeing and finding the All Blue. With the Red Line gone and also having traveled around the entire Grand Line, Brook will have achieved his dream and go back to Laboon and tell the stories. Brook will join Crocus and Laboon and just stay for the rest of his time probably at the lighthouse of the Twin Peaks. So maybe Brook will one day take over Crocus's position and just greet the newcomers for the Grand Line. Even though the Grand Line is going to be an entirely different beast if the Red Line is gone. Then after Brook, I think Jinbei will achieve his dream. These next three will probably be, they can be intertwined or changed around how you wanted to see it. But in my opinion, Jinbei's dream of reaching world peace and equality to all races will be the next thing. Because with Luffy as the Pirate King and just all of the final war and getting rid of Emu and the world nobles will all lead to more equality between all of the races. Then we have Frankie and Nami, who will technically, Frankie will reach his goal a tiny bit earlier, because once they reach the final island while traveling around the entire world, he will already have achieved his dream, while Nami still needs to draw a map of that island. But those two are also very closely together when it comes to achieving their dreams. And finally, the same one who was at the top in the difficulty scale is also in the top of the time scale. Chopper will also need the longest time to achieve his dream in the world of One Piece. Now, what do you think? How would you rank the dreams of the Straw Hats? Or maybe, what would your dream be if you are in the world of One Piece? Please tell me in the comments, and if you want more videos like this, the best way to tell me is to press that like and subscribe button. That's all for today. All that's left to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro out. Bye!